everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Must-Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and last week, snooze fest. What a boring week, even in light of Jerome Powell's statements at the press conference for the FOMC, keeping rates right where they're at, but giving us a little bit of clarity on where these markets may be going forward. Another 2 rate cuts maybe by the end of the year. Markets just snoozed, kind of boring. But hey, you know what? At least it wasn't a down week. So let me talk about the events that may be happening this week or are happening this week, which could impact your portfolio on the week ahead. Let's talk about earnings to start with. We have 684 companies reporting earnings. On Monday, you've got KB Homes and Oklo. Now, Oklo is that company that is building nuclear reactors, getting a lot of attention for that energy space. Of course, this is Sam Altman from OpenAI and many other investors. It has had a pretty significant sell-off here recently, but Oklo reporting earnings on Monday. Moving to our Tuesday session, you've got GameStop and McCormick. On Wednesday, you've got Cintas, Paychex, and Dollar Tree. Thursday brings you Lululemon, Walgreens, Boots Alliance, and that, my friends, is it from your earnings perspective. Not a lot of really big stuff here. I am interested to see what happens with Oklo on Monday, just because there's so much talk about the nuclear energy space and how it might be the resurgence of energy in the United States. Now, who knows, given Trump's policies, if there'll be extra attention focused on that. But bottom line is, I think we'd all agree we need more energy for AI, for crypto and digital assets. All these things require more, and EV companies, of course, need more energy. Okay, let's dive into the next big piece, which is going to be services and manufacturing data. Now, we start across the pond as usual. This is that one day where we get this landslide of info being released from countries around the world. It starts over in France. France reporting at, I believe, a wee hour of the morning, 4:15 a.m. for France. Right after that, we've got Germany at 4:30, then we jump to the EU at 5 a.m., then England with 5:30, and rounding it out for the United States at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, giving us some insights into what those services manufacturing numbers look like for those respective countries and for economies. Now, why is it important? Well, because depending on how services or manufacturing numbers are skewed, if there's a big outlier one way or the other, it may steer that economy down a specific path. So it's just measuring the health of economies around the world. I think it's pretty darn important. Now, our next piece we're going to look at dives into growth. Remember, we've talked about this thing. There's a topic called stagflation. Stagflation says we have these 3 variables. You have inflation, you have growth, and you have unemployment. If we have unemployment rising and inflation rising and growth declining, that's stagflation, and it's a very difficult situation to get out of. Now, right now, we're not in that situation. Unemployment has remained fairly constant, 4.1%. We look at inflation, which I thought would be rising. It's actually falling. And growth is fairly slow and has the most mixed expectations. So what can we talk about with regards to growth? Well, we'll start things off with your final GDP numbers. And as you can see here, it's been fairly constant. This is going to happen Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We get our final GDP number. This is the last revision of it. Right now, the number is 3.1%. They're expecting it to drop a little bit. I don't know about how far, but right now expectations are we're going to see it drop just a little bit here. So again, the most important thing to do is to be very careful with your positions and your trading right around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which of course is 1 hour before the equity markets open. So by the time the markets open, it'll already be priced in. Now, let's move into an even bigger piece, right? We've got lots of stuff to talk about, of course, but inflation seems to be the one that takes center stage right now, especially for you and I as consumers when we go to the store and we seem like we pay more and more and more each month for the goods and services that we buy. So what's going on with inflation? Well, the most important metric is the core PCE price index. That's the one that the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell keeps touting, saying this is what we're looking at. Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Again, 1 hour before the equity markets open, this number comes out. Currently, we are sitting there, as you can see, at 0.3, put a little box around that bad boy, 0.3%. Expectations are we're going to come out right at 0.3. Now, of course, this is a very important number because if we come out higher than that, that's like an not good. The Fed may no longer be able to lower rates. Remember, if inflation starts to surge, one way you choke out inflation is by raising rates. And right now, the president and everybody else wants rates to be lower. So they really need this number to come out at 0.3 or lower to further encourage the Fed to lower rates. I, for one, I think we'll probably come out at 0.3. I think over the coming months, though, by the time we get to maybe July and August, we're going to see that inflation number tick up because of these tariffs finally getting through to the bottom line and hitting you and I, the consumer. But only time will tell, but this is certainly a major factor for Friday's trading, which will probably make Friday the best trading day of the week. And my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Know. We'll see you next week.